Good morning. Welcome to the premium public video discussion for Friday, August 11th, 2023. We'll start off this discussion with details on the National Hurricane Center and NOAA's forecast for the rest of the 2023 season. We've had 4 named storms, 5 if you count the one from January. So the forecast going forward, according to the National Hurricane Center, is above normal, 60% chance of going above normal with 14 to 21 storms in total. So another 10 to 12 or 11 additional named storms, 6 to 11 hurricanes, 2 to 5 major hurricanes, and an ACE score. ACE is basically the atmospheric measurement of energy output, right, from tropical systems, of 105 to 200% above the median. The median is 100%, obviously. The May outlook was lower with a 70 to 145 range in ACE and a major hurricanes of 1 to 4. So they consolidated that, moved up those numbers. They've increased the numbers for the entire season. And this would mean that late August through early October would be phenomenally active, extremely active. Something that, basically meteorologists would be swamped with storms. And this would have to be a scenario where you'd have 3, 4, 5 named storms constantly in place at the same time throughout this time period in order to reach these numbers. So it certainly will be interesting to see whether this verifies. The forecast from me was slightly below normal. So far, that's handled pretty well. Remember, the average for the hurricane season is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. So far, we've had, let's go 5 storms, 4 named storms, and 1 hurricane. And we've had no major hurricanes thus far in the Atlantic. We're going to take a look at the tropics right now. Extremely quiet. And here's why I'm a little hesitant with the forecast that NOAA has, which, the great meteorologists there, they do an outstanding job every day watching the tropics and providing us the latest updates. So certainly they should be listened to and at least keep an eye on things. But it is all of this dry air here that has been a hallmark for the entire season. Now, this could dissipate as we move through September and October, and the idea is that there's so much warm water in the Atlantic that this could really go off in a major way. But we got to get rid of this dry air. See, this dry, dusty air is like diamond dust, okay? When you throw that on a baseball field, it dries up the baseball field. This is the same thing, except for it's for tropical systems, right? You throw it out there in the Atlantic, and it basically kills any tropical waves to try to get themselves organized. I mean, you see that right here in the loop. Here's one impressive, gone. Here's one, gone. Here comes one coming off the African coast, dying. So you're seeing that influence very clearly here. So our intertropical convergence zone every so often pops off a nice little mid-level low, but with that dry air, basically saps it. And you can see another plume of dry air right here coming right off the coast. So that's been limiting that, along with the fact that we have strong shear and, oh, by the way, a strengthening El Nino, which, when we take a look at the factors here right now, it is in a moderate to strong strength in Nino 3.4, which is right about here. It is around 1.2, 1.1 degrees Celsius above normal, which would put it in that moderate stage. If you go towards the eastern zones, it is strong, way strong, around plus 3 degrees Celsius above normal. I always caution with trusting Nino 1+2 because it can be a very volatile region. But certainly, this type of forcing mechanism, this type of shift towards El Nino, that at the very least is moderate, has the potential of being strong if you study the model guidance going forward here. That usually increases shear over the tropical Atlantic. So, yeah, plenty of warm water, well above normal water, but there's also a lot of shear. So we'll see how it plays out as we move forward. Meanwhile, as we continue to watch El Nino develop, the SOI continues to fall. We have daily contributions remaining in a negative state now. Our monthly and seasonal values are falling at a pretty steady rate, and that will support more and more of evolution of our El Nino influence in our convection development in the tropical Pacific. And you can see that very nicely here. All of the tropical Pacific is relatively active with plenty of tropical systems and tropical waves developing here. So you have plenty of convection not only around the dateline but throughout. And of course that is helping to enhance our polar jet stream, keeping us relatively active, which we could see right here. Let me zoom in here. And you can see our polar jet stream. There's our upper level low around the Aleutian, still hanging around. Still see that trough signal showing up. Very interesting, that upper level low over the Arctic Circle dropping southward. Something that, for now we're just going to observe and just see how that influences the rest of the 500 millibar pattern. Obviously, we are very early into making any conclusions on that or making any suggestions on what that could mean as we move towards the cold season months. But certainly something that kind of caught my eye. I'll be keeping an eye on it to see how it evolves. On the ensemble guidance, you've seen the basically the same thing. Not much is really going to be changing. We continue to remain in an active weather pattern. The trough axis here is going to be bouncing from the Ohio River Valley to the East Coast, which means when it's around the Ohio River Valley, showers, thunderstorms, cold fronts, humid conditions, not necessarily hot, not really seeing a lot of heat wave type conditions. In fact, I just shared a post with one of the people that I help follow on Twitter, or X, or whatever they want to call it these days. Exhibit, how about that? But that's actually a good idea. Visit Exhibit. You're welcome, Elon. Okay, so anyway, they're actually showing in Connecticut that the temperatures so far have seen no heat waves in Connecticut, and at most they've had 6 days of 90-degree temperatures. So it's pretty. I shared it on my X profile, so if you want to check that out, definitely check that out. But you can see that theme really isn't changing anytime soon. We continue to see the same pattern: a heat ridge over the Rockies and Plains, trough over the eastern United States, and that's going to keep us active with showers and thunderstorms. And then when the trough axis shifts towards the coast like it is today, tranquil conditions and an influence of the polar air mass. Now let's talk about today. Let's first start with the water vapor satellite picture. It really tells a whole tale here, okay? The water vapor satellite picture with this upper level low is showing a shift towards New England. And what does that mean for us? Well, it means convergence, confluence for us. So we're going to have sinking air in place for the most part. There's going to be some scattered cloud cover, but I think today is going to be a pretty quiet day. As you see off to the west, well, we got some activity here. We have another short wave here, nice, a little vigorous one in the polar jet stream. We got a couple in the subtropical jet stream, another polar short wave up here, another one back here. So we're going to remain pretty active. So that means for this weekend, not a washout, but you're going to have to watch out for a few pesky showers and thunderstorms. Also notice that the strongest lifting with these short waves are all focused towards the Canadian border. So I'm not seeing a influence of direct forcing on the region, but there is some signs of maybe some vertical wind shear that we have to keep an eye on. I'll show that in just a moment. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see the evolution of our very nice day setting up, and then trouble brewing off to the west. Notice the cold cloud tops here. Remember, the colder the cloud top, the stronger the lifting. The stronger the lifting, the higher the cloud can get. Thus, as the cold cloud top goes higher up in the atmosphere. Meanwhile, in the visible satellite picture, hey, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful out there for the end of the week. When we take a look at some of our observations, pretty much it's tranquil this morning with temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior, upper 60s to lower 70s in your suburbs, lower to mid 70s in your urban areas. Winds are from the west around 5 miles per hour for the most part, pretty quiet. And you can see on the latest WeatherTap radar and satellite picture, let me just reset this, surface map and radar. You can see pretty much high pressure and control. You get these little weak troughs here moving through. But again, the main story is back to the west here with this warm front initially and then the cold front that follows. So again, we get a break, active pattern returns thereafter. So let's dive into some of this model guidance so that we could take a look at that. Now, here's my concern for tomorrow afternoon. You got these westerly winds coming in the upper levels. You said 250 millibars and 500 millibars. And the winds, they're not impressively strong, but notice the winds at 850 millibars. On par with the 500 millibar winds, but they're coming in more from the southwest. So we have a slight vertical wind shears component here setting up for the evening hours tomorrow. And we have, at the same time while all that's happening, we have a shortwave that's approaching. So that could lead to a few pesky thunderstorms, and maybe one or two could turn. I think the better potential for that, though, is more towards the eastern Great Lakes and central and northern New York and towards New England, where you have stronger lifting, stronger 500 millibar heights falling, as you can see right here. So you have lifting parameters more supportive for more widespread showers and thunderstorms to the north of us. But down towards the south of us, because of that shear component, and yeah, there's going to be some buildup of instability, I can't rule out a few pesky showers and thunderstorms, and isolated one could reach severe levels. So we'll watch that and keep an eye on that. For Sunday, the same scenario once again. Notice the upper level low is slowly passing to our north. So again, pesky shower or thunderstorm, but not a washout through Sunday. Monday, we get this convergence and confluence, this shortwave ridge marching over the region. So most of the day will be quiet. And then Monday night to Tuesday, well, Tuesday morning could be pretty stormy. Again, we've been watching this positive tilt to trough for the past couple of days. We talked about it in the live chat on Wednesday. And it does pack a nice little potent polar air mass here. So Monday night, like around 10, 11 p.m. through Tuesday morning, should I say, could be pretty interesting around here. And the other thing, too, when I'm taking a look at the precipitable water values around this time period, plenty of deep moisture. So you got tropical moisture, you have some PVA, you got some vertical wind shear setting up. Could be a very, very stormy Tuesday morning next week. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that plays out. I have more details as we get closer to the forecast period. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Sky cloud cover is expected. Tranquil conditions for the most part. High temperatures will range from the upper 70s to lower 80s over the northern interior, lower to mid 80s along the coast, mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. For tonight into tomorrow, look for scattered cloud cover with low temperatures ranging from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior and mid to upper 60s along the coast. For tomorrow afternoon, the cold front will approach with increasing cloud cover. Watch out for a few pesky showers and thunderstorms towards the late afternoon and evening hours. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s along the coast, mid to upper 80s over the interior, and upper 80s to lower 90s in the Delaware River Valley. Again, some of these thunderstorms could reach severe levels, more likely towards the Poconos and the Catskills, and then points further north. But again, we'll keep an eye on this scenario. On Sunday, same pesky cold fronts are moving through the region. So again, watch out for a few pesky showers and thunderstorms. Not a washout for the day, but just keep an eye to the sky and ear to any thunder. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 60s over the interior and along the coast, upper 60s to lower 70s in your urban areas. Look for high temperatures to range from the lower to mid 80s over the interior and along the coast, mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. On Monday, look for scattered cloud cover with temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s along the coast. High temperatures in the lower to mid 80s over the interior and along the coast, mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. Now on Monday night into Tuesday, we got that area of heavy rainfall, thunderstorms, very stormy period to start Tuesday morning. It looks like a real mess for the Tuesday morning rush hour. That will continue on into the afternoon with the cold front that follows with, again, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures on Tuesday will range from the upper 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior and lower to mid 70s along the coast for lows. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s over the northern interior, mid to upper 80s along the coast, and upper 80s to lower 90s in the Delaware River Valley. One note with the high temperatures on Tuesday, if we get a lot more rainfall than what's currently shown here, then those temperatures could end up being a bit cooler, more towards the 80s for everyone. So we'll keep an eye on that. On Wednesday, that all clears off the coast. We can't rule out a pesky isolated shower, but for the most part, sky cloud cover is expected. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s along the coast. High temperatures ranging from the upper 70s to lower 80s over the northern interior and along the coast. Lower to mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley. And on Thursday, high pressure will be in control with sky cloud cover expected. Look for low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior, upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 70s to lower 80s over the northern interior, lower to mid 80s along the coast, mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. And for next Friday, look for sky cloud cover with a strong cold front approaching in the late afternoon and evening hours with showers and thunderstorms, especially towards the late evening hours. There's a potential here we could see a wave of low pressure developing along this frontal boundary, which could enhance the rainfall and also severe thunderstorm aspects. So we'll keep an eye on this and see how it evolves. As you can see, we have a very active pattern in place for this summer. Look for low temperatures on Friday in the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s along the coast, and high temperatures range from the lower to mid 80s over the interior, lower to mid 80s along the coast, and upper 80s to mid 90s in the Delaware River Valley. That is your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful weekend, and as always, stay safe out there.